Hi, I'm Sarah Martin, the Student Services TOSA, and this training video is about foundational practices for classroom management. This PD video will focus on Tier 1 tips for teachers to use while managing behavior in their classroom. Tier 1 systems, data, and practices support everyone across all settings. They establish the foundation for delivering regular, proactive support and preventing unwanted behaviors. Tier 1 emphasizes modeling, teaching, and acknowledging positive social, emotional, and behavioral skills. So let's take a look at some strategies any adult can use when working with students. The first strategy I'm highlighting is pre-correction. The essence of pre-correction is to proactively correct problems by prompting for appropriate behavior before the problem behavior occurs. Using pre-correction, especially in combination with behavior-specific praise, has been shown to decrease disruptive behavior, reduce the need for reprimands, and increase the amount of time for instruction. Pre-correction should target settings where students are likely to struggle and demonstrate inappropriate behavior. Effective use of pre-correction can increase time on task. To implement this strategy, first, teach the expectation for the activity or transition before using pre-correction. This way, students will learn the expected behaviors, leaving the pre-correction to serve as a reminder. This has been shown to be more effective than using pre-correction to teach expectations. Second, provide a brief but specific statement of what the students should be doing before the new activity or transition. An example of this is when the bell rings, gather your materials, push your chair in, and stand behind your chair until your group is dismissed. Next, follow up with behavior-specific praise statements to students who meet your expectations. When you implement this strategy, first identify the times of day, settings, activities, or transitions in which students struggle to remember what to do. Some examples of this might be walking in the hallway, transitioning from seats to rug, or during assemblies. Next, be concise. Develop a concise statement that explicitly states what the student should do immediately following the pre-correction. An example of this might be, we are about to go to lunch, so I need each of you to put your books in your desk, stand up, and push in your chair. Then walk quietly to line up at the door. Ready? Begin. Finally, provide a lot of behavior-specific praise to students who meet expectations. Determine what percentage of students met the expectation. If less than 85% of the class are able to follow your directions after pre-correction, consider taking time to reteach the expectation. If only one or two students continue to struggle, you may want to provide them with individualized and private pre-corrections to help them be more successful. It is also recommended that you increase the use of pre-correction when there are many breaks from school, such as winter break, or if a substitute has been in your classroom. Now, let's take a look at a video example.
Sit crisscross on the rug. I'm going to try my best. I'm going to keep my hands and feet to myself. I am going to listen to the speaker. I'm going to listen to the speaker. I'm going to listen to the speaker. And I'm going to wear my mask.
As you can see, Miss Mack is doing a great job of reviewing expectations and pre-correcting her class before they move from their desks to the rug. Next, let's take a look at the strategy of voice control. Many of you know the frustration of having a sore throat or perhaps even a loss of voice during the first part of your teaching career. Others may be experiencing that problem right now. Educators should try to remember that when managing the behavior of their pupils, it's important to use nonverbal skills. Facial expression, body posture, hand gestures, proximity, and speed of movement are just a few of the key skills that contribute to the effectiveness of nonverbal techniques. Verbal skills are also crucial in managing behavior, and these are the ones that we'll take a look at here. Verbal skills require a similar variety of techniques. Volume, pace, pitch, and tone will all contribute to the strength of the verbal message you are giving. All too often, your emotions and feelings can have an adverse effect on your verbal delivery, and these can be affected by all kinds of outside influences. A late night, a bad commute to work, a disagreement in the staff room, or a particularly difficult group of students may all contribute to the way that you are feeling when you walk into the classroom. As your feelings and thoughts drive your behavior, it's very easy to allow these negative thoughts to affect your verbal and nonverbal responses. Pupils will quickly make their own interpretations of your mood when faced with shouting or a tone of exasperation. Invariably, their response will echo your own initial contact. And in this case, you should bear in mind the concept of voice matching. For instance, if you are shouting, then the student will probably shout back. Whereas if you are quieter and controlled, then the student will be more likely to be calm in their reply. Here are some additional tips when considering voice control. Record yourself teaching and pay attention to your pitch and tone, and always be in control of what your voice conveys. Next, we'll take a look at focusing on the positive as a classroom management strategy. Positive adult student relationships lead to increased cooperation and engagement in the classroom. They also contribute to a welcoming, inclusive school climate that promotes equity, social and emotional learning, and improved student outcomes. So, know your own perspectives. Think deeply about your own attitudes and beliefs and how they may impact your opinions and actions. Our cultural background influences how we interpret situations and communicate, as well as the choices we make. An important element of culturally responsive communication is understanding how your views affect the way you interpret what students say and do. Build relationships with each student. Positive learning environments and engaging instruction help all students achieve success. Caring and emotionally supportive classrooms are particularly important for students who have a challenging life and or school experience. Caring teachers show interest in students' welfare, respect students' perspectives, tell students they can succeed, know students' academic and social needs, and recognize students' academic and social achievements. Also, use and model perspective taking and empathy. The way students interpret their interactions with their teacher can have a lasting impact. Perspective taking, which basically means putting yourself in a student's shoes, can help you recognize each student's strengths. In addition, it will lead to a deeper understanding of the daily challenges they experience. It also involves learning about the students' beliefs, attitudes, and dreams, how they react in different situations, and their communication style. Educators and adults on campus who seek to understand their students' perspectives are more likely to avoid misunderstandings that harm relationships. Some key things to remember are show genuine interest in your students and let them know that getting to know each of them as an individual is important to you. Ask students about their opinions, interests, and background, and listen to what students say as if you might be wrong. Be intentional in your efforts to learn how students view different situations. Use non-judgmental, solution-focused problem solving. And remember to set the bar high for each student. Cultivating caring relationships is important, but educators also need to have high expectations for all students. We must convince our students that they can learn and succeed. According to Yeager and Walton, small social psychological interventions that focus on changing students' thoughts, feelings, and beliefs in and about school can lead to large gains in student achievement for each and every student. That brings us to the end of this PD video. If you have questions, strategies to share, or thoughts on a future video PD, please let me know in the comments.